This is Volusia Today, a public information radio program brought to you by the County of Volusia.
Happy Friday, everyone, and welcome to Volusia Today. I'm your host, Clayton Jackson from the Volusia County Community Information Division. With me today, I have two co-hosts, Heather Belden and Maggie Hessler. Maggie,
hello.
How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Oh, you know, it's Friday, so I am great. I am great. And Heather, we'll throw it your way. How are you doing?
I am doing great. A little tired, ready to get some sleep and catch up this weekend on that. So it's going to be a good one.
Yes, it is. Just for listeners out there, I know most of y'all probably have children, and Volusia County schools are actually out this Monday. But the County of Volusia, we are open. So my wife, she didn't know that till yesterday, and she thought we were going to have a little family day on Monday. It's like, sorry, like I will be at work. So so she's a little bummed. Now she's got the kids by herself Monday. So Lauren, if you're listening, you know I'll be there in spirit with you. All right, so in Volusia County, it is a busy time of year. Heather, is there something going on this weekend we should know about?
Maybe just a little race car thing at the Daytona International Speedway.
I've heard something about that before.
Yeah, so if you're anywhere near the Daytona area, and we were talking as we were coming in, just already today there's been some traffic, a little bit of buzz in the community, a little bit of heat. So if you're out there, I know like Votran, they have some route adjustments because of Speed Week. So if you want to talk about some of those, Clayton.
Yeah, actually the Votran, the route adjustments, they actually went into effect yesterday. It doesn't affect all routes, mostly those routes that are in the Daytona Beach and surrounding area. If you are a Votran passenger and you will be traveling in the Daytona Beach area, please visit Votran.org. On the very top of their website, you'll find a banner that says Speed Week route adjustments. Click that, and it will take you to the information about what routes are being impacted, alternate routes are being play, and again, we nobody can ever predict the traffic influx and any wrecks or anything that may happen. So we just like letting our listeners know and the Votran passengers that there may be additional modifications put into play. But again, go to Votran.org, click on that, and on their website there's actually a nifty little app that they could click to download, and that has real-time alerts, notifications. So if there is any additional modifications, adjustments that maybe happen, they will get service alerts directly to their phone. So also we want to give a shout out to Joanne Magley and Cyrus Callum at the airport, because this is an extremely busy time at the airport for them, with a lot of people coming in for the race. So we know they had a special guest, Michael Waltrip, Monday as a bartender, and heard that was well attended. And so now we cover kind of what's going on this weekend. The County of Volusia, we actually had something pretty exciting happen this week too, on Wednesday. What was that, Maggie?
Yeah, we had the State of the County this past Wednesday. It was Valentine's Day, so we got to celebrate Valentine's Day with a lot of residents and a lot of people in our community, which was really fun. It was a really great experience. We got to hear all sorts of cool things about what's going on this year and what happened last year. But yeah, State of the County was awesome. I mean, both of you guys were there. What were you guys' thoughts?
Oh, I absolutely loved it. This was actually my second one. And actually, just for people who may not know, that this was actually the first time that the State of the County was done on the west side of the county. It was held at the Center at Deltona. Lovely venue. The Cocky Rooster of Deltona, they actually were the caterer, provided wonderful food, great service, and it was just a beautiful event. And Heather, you want to talk a little bit more about it?
Yeah, I mean, Maggie mentioned that it was on Valentine's Day, and her and I are actually talk about a lot that we love Volusia County. We really do. And we're both settling down here, starting our families. And so we really did try to lean in as the Community Information Division with the whole Valentine's Day thing. So one of my favorite parts was the little kind of gift that everyone got to go home with. It's something that we do at the State of the County every year. And this year, Maggie and I were in charge of that and got to create the basket. So it had some local honey from a nursery here in New Smyrna Beach, Sunsplash Nursery. And it was black mangrove honey, which if you didn't know that there are a handful of different types of honeys. Black mangrove actually is delicious. We did some sampling of all the different kinds of honeys that the nursery had to offer. And that was the one we landed on because it tasted so good. And because we got local, it actually is farmed from the mangroves in New Smyrna Beach, right on the Mosquito Lagoon. So that was kind of a fun little thing that we got to add to the gifts. And then we also had plants as centerpieces that one person at the table got to take home, and those were from Lindley's nursery, and they were all Florida native plants. So whoever got to take those home gets to plant them in their yard, and they are obviously non-invasive because they are native. They will bring many pollinators, birds, bees, butterflies to their yards, and that was just a little special touch that we felt was important. And they got a little Valentine on their gift that said, "We dig you," because we gave them a little shovel.
And my feelings are a little bit hurt because neither of you came to me and asked my input on any of the gifts or the giveaways. So there, yeah, I'm not the fancy decor person. I'm not even allowed to decorate my office. My wife has to do that. Yeah.
Oh no.
All right. So one thing that happened at State County is we had the Navy Band Southeast, the brass quintet, actually played some beautiful music there. And the Navy did not just come for the state of the county. This is actually Navy Week in Volusia County, and they're actually doing a few different things throughout the county. And Maggie, what are they doing?
Yeah, they've gotten to do all sorts of cool things. I've seen lots of pictures of them at the beach and all sorts of stuff that they're getting to do. But they had the honor of working with us for a bunch of different reasons. They worked out with the beach safety team, which I saw the pictures of, which was kind of entertaining to see the pictures of all of them working out with all of the lifeguards and stuff.
The 2023 Beach Patrol of the Year, might I say. I just want to throw that in there for everybody.
Yeah, I was just saying, I can't keep up with them. I could only imagine. Granted, it's the Navy, so I'm sure they could, but I would be not doing well. They got to play the music, obviously, for the state of the county, and then they also got to help clean some large tanks at the Marine Science Center and get to experience that, which I've actually never been to the Marine Science Center, so I'm a little jealous, but I think it was a really cool experience for them. So.
Yeah, I saw the picture, and they were literally standing in the tank cleaning it, so I don't think you'll get that experience when you go to the Marine Science Center, but it is a really cool place, and I'm excited. Obviously, the Navy has ties with our marine life. So I think some of them were oceanographers in the Navy. So it really was something that they could get out and showcase what the Navy can do, but also be a part of what's happening in the community. So I thought that was really special. And I am a Navy brat. My dad was in the Navy. So this was like a really cool week for me to see all the different guests we had across the county.
All right, and kind of like while we're on the topic of Navy, beach, ocean, so forth, we did have some rough weather along our coastline that happened last week, and now that event has since left us, fortunately. But while it's here and now it's receded, we've noticed that there's been some debris left behind. And actually, the county is organizing a coastal cleanup that is happening tomorrow, February 17th. It will start at 8 a.m. Well, correction. We want people to meet at 8 a.m. There will actually be 5 different locations that people meet at 8 a.m. It could be the City of Daytona Beach City Hall, City of Daytona Beach Shore City Hall, Dolly Avenue Park, Frank Rendon Park, Larry Forneri Park, and Tornita Avenue Beach Park. I'm not going to repeat those for everybody, but if you go to our website, you can go on our social media accounts. All that information is there, and everybody who comes, they will get a 1-gallon bucket provided by the county. But please bring some gloves, additional buckets, and any other items that you find useful. And sadly, there is some potential for some nasty weather.
Don't talk about it, and maybe it won't happen.
Hey, I got to give the people the truth. That's what we're here for.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So just we're kind of watching the weather. We're working with our environmental management team, who's helping orchestrate this event. And in the event that we do have to postpone it, we will post that on our website as well as social media. So if you are planning on participating in the coastal cleanup tomorrow, and the weather is turning a little bit, just go to our social media pages and we will update if it is postponed. So let's go over to the Wildlife Festival. It's a little bit less than a month away, but Maggie, tell us a little bit about what's going on there.
Yeah, so the Lyonia Environmental Center is holding their Wildlife Festival. They hold it annually, but this year it's going to be March 9th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. It's supposed to be a really awesome event. There's going to be all sorts of stuff going on. You can do guided hikes. You can see different presentations, exhibitors. They'll even have an eco buggy tour, which if you listened last week, you heard how excited I was about the eco buggy tours. So.
And I liked the little video you put on Facebook. Like, it's nice. Yeah. You were very excited.
I was thrilled. I was over the moon. I really want to go back, but
and that was your first
all the time.
And that was your first video you got to do with us, right?
Yeah, that was the first one.
Nice.
Yeah, it was super exciting. But there'll be all sorts of stuff going on at that event. It'll be super awesome. There'll be things for all ages. And the best part is admission is free. So if you would like to attend, I highly encourage you to check it out. It's a great thing for families and individuals alike.
So what's the Lyonia Environmental Center like? You've been there. Is it like a place where I would want to maybe take my kids?
Oh, definitely, 100%. I don't have kids, so I can't take my kids there, but it is.
You can borrow mine.
Yeah, I'll take yours.
I'll even throw my two in for you.
But no, it is really cool. They have all sorts of interactive exhibits. They even take some of the animals out. They have like little crates with the different animals in them, and so you can actually kind of interact and have the interactions with the different animals. While I was there, they took out a couple of the snakes, and I was like,
going to ask, what kind of animals are we talking about?
Yeah. They had some cool ones. They had some turtles too, which I was cool with the turtles. We were chill, but me and the snakes, not so much. But
just watching from a distance.
Yeah, I kind of left the room at that point. But they have lots of cool exhibits that you can go around and walk around. And then they actually have the entire preserve as well that you can walk through, which is really cool. You can get the opportunity to see some scrub jays, which is a really cool thing to see. Those are Florida native animals and birds. And it's a really awesome experience. I would highly encourage you guys to go.
That's awesome. I have seen, I think it was a little bit ago, they had, I think they were bobcats that someone spotted on the trail. So not to be scared,
Maybe
but it was just very cool. They were extremely majestic. And if you go to the Lyonia's Facebook, I think they shared those pictures, so you can go back and see if you can
what
find
a cool
them.
thing to see in the wild. Like,
right?
Could you imagine walking on the trail? I don't know what I would do.
Hopefully I'd be in the eco buggy.
Yeah, hopefully you'd have a ride out of there at that point. But a really cool thing to see in the wild for sure.
All right. So if you want to learn more about that, you can go to volusia.org/LEC as the event nears. There'll be more information posted on their page, as well as the numerous social media accounts that the county has. So with that, we're going to take our first commercial break. Stay with us for more Volusia Today.
Subscribe to the Volusia County YouTube channel.
And hit the bell icon to know what's happening in your hometown.
There are so many great places to explore.
And things to learn.
With over 1,000 videos available right now, the channel offers something for everyone.
Let's go!
Did you know we have countless features showcasing history, nature, wildlife, and recreation? Subscribe and hit the bell icon.
Or that we live stream important county meetings and workshops where leaders make decisions that can impact our everyday lives. Did you subscribe yet?
Or that we record our weekly radio show, Volusia Today, where we interview staff from the different divisions and departments across our great county, and they discuss the nitty-gritty of their field and expertise.
Go ahead, subscribe.
But that's not it. There's more. Subscribe and hit the bell icon and fully explore.
Score!
All right, welcome back to Volusia Today. We've been covering all sorts of topics of things that are going on in the county this week, next week, and within the next couple weeks. But something that's actually happening next Thursday is the Backyard Urban Chicken Class. I'm super excited about this. I think it's a really cool thing to experience. I would love to have some chickens, but I don't think I can. But if you would like to get some chickens, you can take this class and actually receive a certification and learn all sorts of things with chicken care, the breeds, housing, health, nutrition, and safety, and what it looks like to actually have them in your own backyard. And Heather, I know you were talking about that you've had some experiences with some chickens.
I personally don't. I told my husband, we've got the 2 kids, the dog. I think right now we're going to take a pause on living things that can happen in our house or our backyard. Although we do have the space for it, so maybe one day I will sign up and take this. But I actually have a friend. She lives in DeLand, and she has over 100 chickens in her yard. I think she lives on about 5 acres.
Oh my goodness.
And interestingly enough, she runs a cookie business, and so she ends up using the eggs to help make her cookies. And I'm like, this is genius.
That is. That's smart.
But I guess like some of her chickens have like communities, so she has to have 3 different communities for all of the 100 chickens, because if not, they would fight.
Like they live in like different towns?
They live in different coops. So they have different sections of her yard that are that. So I think, maybe this is something you would learn at the backyard urban chicken class, that like once you get to a certain amount, or if they're not from the same family, that you might need to start another coop so they don't fight. But I just can't imagine what 100 chickens are like. But maybe if you go to the class,
fun.
you can learn
chase around the chickens.
what it's like to have 1 to 5 chickens, maybe.
Yeah, maybe not 100.
Well, I have no experience of chickens, so that's why I kind of stayed out of that conversation.
You seem like a hermit crab kind of dad.
We do have a golden retriever puppy.
Oh.
So, yep. She's 3 months old. Her name is Charlie. So she has a pink collar. That way, when we walk her and we're like, "Hey, Charlie," people know that it is a female. But that was my 9-year-old son. We let him pick her out and name her. So she's great. We absolutely love her. Oh, she is amazing.
I'm biased. I grew up with Goldens my whole life, so I'm very biased.
I think she needs a chicken friend, Clayton.
No. I'm going.
You sure?
We live on the water, and there are ducks out there. So she's wanting to go introduce herself to the ducks already, and trying to jump into ponds. Like, no, you're a little young for that.
Aww.
Or actually, we have a pool, so she can enjoy that recreational activity this summer.
There you go. That's fun.
So there is a new. I guess, am I allowed to call it a traffic signal, Heather? This is not my area of expertise, but there's some type of new signals, pedestrian safety, something like that going on. I'm going to turn this over to you. You're the expert in this area.
Expert, that's funny. So it's a pedestrian signal, but it does impact traffic, so it's fair to call it that. So if you're traveling on A1A and Ormond at Rockefeller Drive, which is actually right near the new section of the dog beach that had opened, there is a new pedestrian signal, and this is only the second one of this kind to be put in Volusia County. And what's unique about this is that it's pedestrian activated, but I do think it sends a very clear message to the driver about how they're supposed to react to the pedestrian. So as you approach this pedestrian, it's a hawk signal. The pedestrian will hit the light to indicate that they are going to cross, and the drivers will then get a flashing yellow, letting them know that it's time to slow down. It'll go to solid yellow, and then it'll go to solid red. So then they know, hey, there's a pedestrian crossing. I need to stop. And then once that time has passed, giving the pedestrian enough time to cross, it will move to a blinking red, and then the driver will know that they can kind of proceed with caution, that there's no more pedestrians in the crosswalk. So it is a little bit different, and so we always enforce that pedestrians should be very cautious and very alert when they're crossing the street, regardless of what type of crosswalk they're in, and that drivers should also be on the lookout, especially in that A1A area where, things are happening. People are going to and from the beach, getting their ice cream, getting their lunch, going back. So if you are out at the A1A area in Ormond, just keep an eye out for the new signal.
Not just pedestrian safety, but like you said, it's right near the dog beach. So
That's
some of
right.
our furry friends
For Charlie.
For Charlie, yes. I'm going to have to hit that button so me and Charlie can safely cross over to the ocean and enjoy that.
Exactly. And I know there are many different pedestrian crosswalks all along A1A that are different. So I think it's important always to just be patient and start to learn the different ones and how you as a driver need to react. And as I said before, pedestrian safety, also look both ways, left, right, left, what we all learned when we were in elementary school. And it's just one of the ways that I think our traffic engineering is always looking towards safety and efficiency as their top 2 goals. So shout out traffic engineering.
And kind of piggybacking on the theme of public safety, our EMS division, they are second to none. They do an outstanding job. Obviously we have a little bit of tie-in with EMS for our previous director, Kevin Captain, at Community Information. He is now the division head of the EMS. So Kevin, if you're listening, I hope everything's going well. And I spoke to him, said, hey, I want to give you all a little bit of shout out, and so we'll have on today's show, that the EMS staff, they actually go to numerous elementary schools, and they provide a program called Kid Smart. And it's a safety education program. Like, they talk to children about appropriate situations for calling 911. Riding bikes, when you're riding a bike, scooters are a lot more prevalent these days, more common. Wearing a helmet, I know growing up, I didn't wear a helmet. Probably should have, but unfortunately, I broke a finger, but never my head. But I know. And then obviously we live in Florida, how appropriate pool, water safety measures, things like that, at risk of talking to strangers, and, bullying, why, it's very detrimental. So I just want to give a shout out to our wonderful EMS division. It is a community safety awareness program, and, they are there to educate and protect the well-being of our youngest, most vulnerable population, our children. So Kevin, EMS team, keep up a good job, and I'm going to get out there and get some pictures and interviews with you all next week at your next Kid Smart event.
That's awesome. It really does take a village to raise these kids, so I personally, as a parent, appreciate that, our EMS division and those paramedics and specialists are making a presence in our kids' lives, and I think it's cool to see that and give them, maybe even some of them will grow up to be paramedics.
And Heather, you probably know this well as I do, children always don't listen to their parents about stuff.
That's true. They do like it when it comes out of someone else's mouth.
Yeah. So EMS, keep up the great work. Maggie, what else do we have to talk about today?
We've got lots to talk about. There's a couple other things with EMS. We got the Volusia Helps app. I know that's a really cool thing. You were talking about that a little bit before we got started, and it was explaining to me how cool it is. And I didn't even know it was a possibility. I went and downloaded it on my phone. Can you talk to us a little bit about what that actually is and how it functions?
Absolutely. So this actually started brainstorming this while I was still in the community services department. Our team was kind of just thinking, what is a resource that we can get into the hands of not just the residents who are in need of services such as social services, healthcare, but also get something in the hands of service professionals, social workers, medical personnel, law enforcement. That way that if they come across a citizen that is in need, they can pull out their phone, because nowadays everybody has a phone. Everybody is attached to their phone. They need something right then and there, a resource. Pull out this person. Perfect example, a nurse is working with somebody, and they come to find out that they have no food in their home. Well, they can get on that app and find the local food pantries, where they are, their hours of operation, and they find, okay, they are also food insecure. Do you have SNAP, which is formerly known as food stamps? And they say, no, ma'am, I do not have that. Well, here is a website. Let me go ahead and connect you with that. I can email this information to you, and that way they could apply with the state to get food stamps. So it is a one-stop shop for resources. It has already been downloaded over 700 times, and we're just trying to bring more awareness to this, that it is a wonderful resource, not just for our residents, but for other service professionals who deal with people who may be in need. So we just definitely want to highlight that. I think there's going to be some more information coming out of our division next week about the app. But again, Volusia Helps. It is available on Android and Apple. So we just want to kind of bring some more awareness to that.
Yeah, that's really awesome. Obviously free.
Yes.
And then it is continuously updated. So this is real-time information. This is help that you can get today, tomorrow, this week. And I think that's really special. And I love how you said that the department was looking to get it in their hands, but this is literally in your hands.
Literally.
And so definitely go download Volusia Helps.
And all these social service agencies, these medical agencies, that their information is in the app, they are able to go in and update that in real time. So for example, if they extend their hours, if they open a new office, maybe there's a staffing change and they need to change the email address or phone number of the point of contact, they can log in on the back end and do that right then and there. So they don't even need to contact the county. They can actually log into their username and password, update information, and bam, it is updated real time.
Really cool.
Yep. So, all right, with that, we are going to take our last commercial break. Stay with us for more Volusia Today.
Make the most of your day at the beach. Download the Volusia County Beaches app today. Sign up for real-time notifications on vehicle ramp openings and closings. Find staffed lifeguard towers. Get updates on tides and beach conditions, plus off-beach parking and coastal parks info. Volusia County Beaches app is available for your smart devices at the App Store and Google Play.
Welcome back to Volusia Today. You're here with our Community Information Division. I'm Heather, and we also have Maggie and your host, Clayton Jackson.
Thank you so much for bringing us back, Heather. So again, I came from the Community Services Department, worked in there for a few years, and we talked about the Volusia Helps app that we are promoting, and also I want to take a minute to show the Social Worker in the Libraries program some love. It is a collaboration between the Community Assistance Division and Library Services, and across the 14 different library branches that the county operates, that we have social workers that actually are stationed. Obviously, there's not 14 every day, but there is a schedule that the 2 social workers actually travel at throughout the 14 different locations, and people can go online at the VolusiaLibrary.org website, schedule an appointment, or they could walk in. They could walk in and say, hey, my elderly mother, she's willing to apply for Social Security. I'm homeless. I have nowhere to go. And the social worker's able to point them in the right direction. Say, this is where you need to apply for. I can help you get started. So it's more like, it's again, kind of like a resource for them that, they don't provide actually financial assistance, but in the realm of social services, there's so many different providers, and fighting through the red tape of who and when to get to somebody, that is what those social workers are there for. And Heather talked to us about one more event that's coming up tomorrow.
Yeah, so DeBerry Hall, if you're looking for something to do, they're actually celebrating Frederick DeBerry Day. So if you get out there, they'll be there from 11 to kind of 3-ish, and they'll have some actors that'll be portraying the DeBerry family, and it's just a really cool way to see the hall in a little bit of a different way. So you can look at volusia.org for this and all the things we talked about today.
Awesome. Maggie, any closing thoughts?
No, I hope everyone has a great weekend, and hopefully the weather stays good. Fingers crossed.
She wanted to talk more, but we're up against the clock. All right, thank you so much for listening to Volusia Today. Have a wonderful weekend.